salespeople, have they made a decision? This is not just a job. You know, someone said yesterday it's just over broke, because that's what all a job is. You see, a career is something we develop. A business is what we develop. And if they're not viewing this as their business or their career, they're never going to take a step forward. They have to make that decision, draw a line in the sand, like we talked about yesterday. You know, we have to help them to remember to do that. Some of us have to get with our salespeople and help them get recommitted. That's never going to happen if you're not doing one-on-ones with your salespeople. It's never going to happen if you're not doing one-on-ones with your salespeople. See, when you talk to them in a group or in a meeting, everyone's on a different page. Everyone's at a different skill level. Where it's a mixed message. We want to give them an overview in group training. You see, and group training is just like you guys this week. Has anyone in here became aware of something that they didn't know? Raise your hand. Everyone did. Our salespeople are the same way. When we're in training, they become aware of what they don't know. You remember the unconscious incompetence? They didn't know that that skill was even out there, that they could overcome that. They just thought it was a dead end. It wasn't a deal. Or anything that we teach in a meeting. They don't know. We make them aware of it, and then we practice, drill, and rehearse, and we can do that in a group setting. But then the one-on-ones is where we bring it home. We have to have all of it. We have to have all of it. But if we're not doing that, we'll never help them to make better decisions. And once they make that decision that this is their career, everything changes. I was speaking to somebody, and she said that once I made that decision, the car business changed for me. That's all it was. And you know, making a decision is not hard. It's just getting to the point where you want to make a decision. That's what's hard. Making a decision happens when? Now. Right now. It's done. It's easy. It's easy. It's getting up to that point that's hard. And I want you to write this down. And bring this to your salespeople. And this is to have their best year ever. I want you to title it at the top. My 8 strategies for my best year ever. 8 strategies for my best year ever. Now, right at the very bottom, I don't need to know, write this down, I don't need to know how I'm going to get to my goals. Write this down. I don't need to know how I'm going to get to my goals. I just need to know that I will get to my goals. I don't need to know how I'm going to get to my goals. I just need to know I will get to my goals. Think about this. If every one of us in this room already knew how to get to our goal, wouldn't we already be there? If we already knew how to get to our goal, wouldn't we already be there? We'd already be there. I just need to know I will get to my goal first. Before you write a goal, before you put that map together, and we do that in a 2-day workshop. It's intense. It's really an awesome thing. But before you even start on that quest, you need to know that you will, because it starts with the attitude, and then we get the skill. And when you have talent and you have a great attitude, and you back it up with some selling skills, you could forget about it. There's no way that you can convince me otherwise. The only reason that you're not performing at the level that you want to perform is because you just got to get better. That's the whole reason why I'm not performing where I want to perform, because I got to get better. I've got to get better. I have to look in the mirror every day. What can I do to get better? What can I do? We have to change our questions, and we have to help our salespeople change their questions. I wish, I had a lot of time to go over something that's so important to us, because, we get caught up in everything else at the dealership, and we leave our salespeople hanging out to dry. And I know I've done it, and we all have been guilty of it at some point. In the 2-day sales workshop, I always recommend that the managers come to the workshop with the salespeople. Bring a manager and a handful of salespeople or whatever. But if we just send the salespeople to the workshop and we train the salespeople, or even when we go into in-house and the salespeople are all in the meeting, they're learning all this great stuff, what's the first thing that they say when the meeting's over? You want to know what it is? You want to know what they tell us? I hear it all the time. They say, you know what, all this stuff is awesome, and I really appreciate you, and I used this yesterday, and it helped me. And thank you so much, but, you know, what are we going to do when you guys leave? I'm like, what do you mean, what are you going to do? You're going to keep developing. And they say, well, yeah, I am. I said, that's what you have to focus on. Don't worry about your manager. You need to focus on you. But they all say it. They say when you leave, they're just going to let everything that you put in place go by the wayside. That's what they say. They say, because, you know, when you look at a deal, you always say, what do I need to do to make this deal? I heard you say it 20 times yesterday. And when my manager looks at the deal, he always says, get him out of here, get another customer. And that deal that you got approved was one that I had 3 days ago. And I never would have made that $4,000 deal if you guys wouldn't have came. So what do we do when you leave? What do we do? So I answer them. I say, listen, just focus on you. Same thing for me. You know, I work for weak managers. What if I focused on the manager? You see, I sell your salespeople on you, is what I do. I say, listen, they're busy. I tell them what you're doing. I tell them what's going on at the desk. And I sell your salespeople on you. But if the managers don't come into the sales workshops, you're missing it. You're missing it. The only reason for me to go to a dealership for the second time or the third time is to get to the next level. It's the worst thing in the world for me to go into a dealership and they're at the same level that they were at the first time. Because I feel like a failure. I feel like I've failed. I want to help people get to the next level. I'm not interested in dealing with average all the time. I'm not interested. Because if you don't want to get better, if you don't want to get to the next level, I can't help you. I mean, you can teach a pig to sing. You can show the pig how to sing. But it's frustrating and it's hard on the pig. And it's hard on the pig. I just want you to write down one thing right now that you're going to take to your salespeople to give them as a gift. And I know the 8 strategies, but what are you going to do different when you get back to the dealership for your salespeople who are dependent on you? Their families and everything, they're dependent on us. What is it, Mike Phillips? I know you have something good. This guy has like, I don't know how many hundreds of pages of notes. Give me something you're going to bring back.
I'm going to get back to managing by walking around.
Manage by wandering. That's where it's at. Manage by wandering. If you wander around the dealership, that's awesome, Mike. If you wander around the dealership, you'll find out everything you need to know to get them to the next level. Wander around. Find out what's really going on. Find out what's really happening. You know, sometimes we fire the wrong guy. You know that? Because it's a conspiracy. They're getting good, moving ahead, and they all gang up together, and they set them up, and then we punt the wrong person. Don't be so quick. Don't be so quick to act. Make sure you're making the right decision. That's awesome. How about you, Dave?
I think getting the salespeople and, well, everybody feels you're more involved in the process and be bought into it.
We have to all be on the same page. We have to all be there. That goes for finance. That goes for the salespeople. That goes for that goes for the receptionist. You know, it's for everybody. Everybody has to be on the same page. And does the receptionist need to be in our meetings? No, they need to be out there making the calls. But if we don't communicate to the receptionist what we're doing, could they mess up the whole thing when it's the first contact? But everyone needs to be involved, especially the managers and the salespeople. Nothing for the dealership. The dealership itself's not going to get to the next level. You might have a salespeople that will. They'll go from 10 to 20. That's why some dealerships have salespeople that sell 30 and some that sell 6. But to move the whole dealership up, we have to manage our salespeople, their activities individually. and collectively as a team. For example, if I got every single salesperson, I asked you, if every single salesperson believed that every deal was a deal, you told me they would sell an extra car a week. Now, how many salespeople do you have, Dave, roughly? Give or take. 7? Okay. So what's 7 deals a week times 4? What is it? Okay, now 28? Okay, there's 20. There's 28 deals, okay? And that's just one little thing, an attitude adjustment. One little thing. It's that easy. But it's what we do, how we manage them and their activities individually.